Everybody, this is Mo, the Gnostic warrior, founder of the Order of the Gnostics, and the title of today's talk as I take my walk for this morning is "The Idle Man or Woman Can Never Become a Magician or a Master of His or Her Life." Okay, what does that mean when I say that? The idle man or the idle woman will never get what they want or become the magician that they desire to be in this world. And a lot of people don't understand that our world that we live in today is made of magic. That makes us by default magicians. We could be white magicians, we could be black magicians, or we could be who Manly P. Hall calls gray magicians. And in this magical world that we live in, idleness, doing nothing, sitting there on Facebook, sharing memes, is the death to the magician. There's no magic sitting around on Facebook, sitting on your phone, and doing nothing. The action goes from doing things to do. So this quote that I'm saying to you right now, the idle man or the idle woman can never be a magician or a master of him or herself, is one of the most true things as far as magical quotes that has ever been said. And I see a lot of this today in the people that mean well and who want to follow the Gnostic path, the path of truth, the path of light, the path of love. They're stuck in this form of idleness, this form of apathy that is plaguing them, it's paralyzing them, and it's causing pain in their life. And what people need to understand in order to move forward on our paths, to understand more of yourself, to become a better person, we need to do. We can't just sit around being idle, talking about gnosis, about truth, about how fucked up this world is, and do nothing about it. We're just prolonging the problem. We're adding to the problem. We're adding to the misery of the world by not being lights, by not being truth, by not living the life and walking the path. So what I've learned in the Gnostic movement, and also, good morning, the truth movement, is that you have to do, you have to create, you have to lead by example in this world in order to change it. And if we're just talking about it and debating about it on Facebook and even doing these selfie videos, and we're not actually doing things in the world to create what we wish to occur, we're adding to the black magic. We're tools of the black magicians, and who Manly P. Hall had said, we are gray magicians. We are some of the worst magicians and people in the world when we're idle and we sit here and we do nothing. Okay, so what a lot of people need to understand that are following Gnosticism, Gnosis, the truth movement, Freemasonry, which is a form of ancient Gnosticism, Rosicrucianism, any of these secret societies or these Gnostic undercurrents and secret societies, is that we are to take our knowledge that we learn and apply it to ourselves, and we are to do with that knowledge. We are to apply it to our lives, and we are to create that which we wish to change. So it all starts with forming good habits. And these habits, there's many different forms that relate to the sciences of being human. One of these habits I'm doing right now is a physical habit, okay? This physical habit that I'm doing now is walking. It's getting my blood pumping. It's getting me moving. So I've created this habit of physical exercise where I'm constantly, every day, I exercise for about an hour, hour and a half. And I do it every day without fail. And this habit has helped transform my body by working out. And there's some certain things that I'm doing to make it better. And this is a vehicle for me. So this body I don't look at necessarily as something that is for show, or I'm working out just to look good for other people out there in the world. No, I'm doing this so my vehicle, my vessel that holds my soul, my light, my truth, is in the best shape possible to carry out my mission, to carry out my great work. So if you're in the habit of sitting on your butt all day doing nothing, sitting on Facebook, you're gaining weight, you're getting out of shape, this habit is going to be a detriment to yourself and to the great work that you're supposed to be doing right now. So, good morning. This great work that we are set out, each one of us, each soul that is listening and watching this video, is unique to each one of us. And what I mean by that is that we're all reborn, we're all immortal, and we're here for a reason, we're connected for a reason on the Gnostic Warrior through these live casts that I'm doing. And the reason is because I'm here to help you. I'm here to use this habit of talking to you to help get you on your path to what you're really supposed to be doing. And what you're really supposed to be doing is not spending so much time on Facebook and gadgets that take you outside of yourself and you give it up to other people. So for example, a bad habit that I had for a while and that I still have and I fight all the time is going on the internet, onto Facebook, and reading these messages in people's timelines. And what people don't understand is that this is a form of chaos magic. And part of this is unintentional, part of it is intentional. But if you understand what is going on, you can fight some of these things that are causing you to have bad habits. Okay? And this habit that I had of turning on the internet and Facebook all the time, the first thing in the morning, you know what it was doing? You know what it does when we do that? We give our thoughts and our soul to someone else. Our first thoughts in the morning are someone else's thoughts. When we open up that email, when we open up that Facebook of that feed of our friends and people around the world that we enjoy listening and talking to, what we're doing is we're getting outside of ourselves, and we're now letting that outside entity input thoughts and ideas in our head inorganically. They're basically being pushed there by other people. And these thoughts and these ideas, these fears, these phobias, this information, this knowledge is not organic. It doesn't come from us, the source of our soul. It is coming from outside entities that are basically beaming their thoughts into our head, and then we allow it by opening up our Facebook, by opening up our email. And what this does is it takes us outside of ourselves, and it causes us not to be who we truly are and our true mission. So one of the habits I have now is spending much less time on Facebook and reading people's feeds. And the reason I'm doing this is to get back into myself and to who I truly am, so I can carry out that great work that I'm here to do. And part of that process is forming these better habits that will help me do that and help me accomplish that great work. So we have good habits and we have bad habits, and the idea to becoming a magician, to becoming a Gnostic, is to formulate habits that make you stronger, both physically and mentally, so you could operate as a Gnostic warrior. You know, that's the whole idea. And again, you know, the internet, media, all that is controlled. 100%. And if you don't think it is, you're a fool. If you think you're going to invent some type of monetary blockchain money and take over the world from the rulers and the powers that be, and with your Bitcoin and bullshit anarchy stuff, it's not going to happen, guys. You know, those are great ideas, but if you're falling into that trap of bullshit and propaganda, you're going to get what you deserve. But neither here nor there. In regards to the internet, you better believe it's controlled, and it's controlling millions of people. That's why they call it the internet. They don't name things for silly reasons and shits and giggles. Actually, they do sometimes. You don't surf a net, you get caught in it, folks. And this goes back to ancient mythology about a goddess named Net. And I'll talk about that another time. But again, the purpose of this video is to talk to you guys about habits. What are you guys doing out there to help yourselves, to make yourselves a better person, a better Gnostic, to walk a better path? What are you guys doing as far as the habits to do that? I believe there are many different habits that we could make better for ourselves, such as exercise. You know, exercise, I believe, helps connect your body and your spirit, and it helps bring unity to the two and balance. And this is something I'm going to talk about a lot in the coming videos, and talks about unity and balance. That is key to being a human. When we have balance in what we do, when we have unity of the mind, body, and the soul in everything that we do, when we make it a habit, when we do something, that we do it with our mind, our body, and our soul, the Holy Trinity of Gnosticism, it makes everything that much better and makes us that better of a person. And when I talk about this unity of the mind, body, and the soul, and what some could say the heart, and operating the heart, some of you, I could basically bring up this description of when you're with your children, if you're a father or a mother out there, and there's two ways of dealing with your children. There's one where you just kind of go through the motions, and it's like, you know, son, you explain something to your son or your daughter, and you say, hey, this is the way it works, you know, yada, yada, yada. And you kind of don't even look at them in the eyes. There's no connection. There's no heart connection. You're kind of just going through the motions, and you're busy. You're kind of half there, half out, because you have a project going on that you're handling that causes you to not be in the moment. And this in the moment, I have found, is that connection from the mind, the body, and the soul with the heart. And when you look at your children and you talk to them and you look at them in the eyes, they say the eyes are the window of the soul. And I believe it 100%. When I look at someone in the eyes, there's just a different connection there. With my children, it's automatically, and if I have my heart and I think love in my soul and my heart when I'm talking to them and I'm looking at them in their eyes, the connection is instantaneous. It is amazing at the feeling that you can get when you connect your mind, body, and soul in everything that you do, whether you're doing a video, whether you're working out at the gym. You know, I found this out as well, is that I was going to the gym for a while, and I had this habit, bad habit, of just kind of going through the motions. When I would get to the gym, I would do my workout, lift my weights, do my cardio and everything, and I was thinking about other things. I was thinking about work. I was thinking about what I needed to do with Gnostic Warrior. I was thinking about money. I was thinking about just a bunch of other things besides what I was doing at that moment. And what I realized is that my body wasn't changing with the work that I was doing. I wasn't really getting the benefits that I used to get when I used to be in the moment, and just I'd go to work out and I was there to work out. I wasn't there thinking about other things. And then I caught myself doing this, and I started changing my thinking. When I started working out my chest, doing bench press, I didn't think about anything else but raising and lowering that bar and, working out my chest or that specific muscle. And what that ended up doing, and what it continues to do, it's training my mind. It's training my mind to think on one subject at a time. It's training me to be in union with my body and my mind and my heart by thinking critically on one subject at a time and immersing myself into it. This is creating this habit that is beneficial in everything that I do in life. It's creating that mind, body, soul connection just from working out, just from, going to the gym. And this can be said about any other subject that you wish to study, that you wish to accomplish, is when you put your mind, body, and soul in union, unity and balance, you can accomplish anything that you want in this life. Again, this is Mo, the Gnostic warrior, founder of the Order of the Gnostics. This is my daily walk and talk. Today, I'm talking about basically how you could use your thoughts to overcome everything, and how idleness can be, good morning, your greatest detractor, your greatest enemy. And I'm seeing this a lot, again, on Facebook right now, all around the world, on the internet, is you have a lot of people that want to be active, right? They want to do things to make the world better, and they're not, because they're sitting and they're being idle. They think that by sharing on their Facebook feed a meme or some knowledge or some travesty going on in the world that they're actually helping, but they're not. They're not doing, okay? They need to do more than that. They need to stop being idle on the computer, and they need to partake in the great work. And each one of us has a mission, and we need to find that mission. And each one of us, it's up to us to find that mission of what we're to do in this world. And we're to get to work. We're to find out exactly what that is, and then get to work on our path. And part of that process is working on ourselves, working on our habits. If we're being lazy, we got to be active. If we're getting fat, we're gaining weight, we need to do things that offset that, like exercise, finances. Another issue that I see in the truth community with Gnostics and people that follow this line of thought is that we don't like to partake in the financial world. We're not really materialists for the most part. We like money because it pays our bills, but we're not necessarily slaves to money or whores to money. So we have this dichotomy where it's hard for us to make money, to fit into this world, because we don't want to sell our soul to the devil, to the archons, just so we can make a buck. Some of us would rather just, sit on Facebook, collect a check from the archons, and share memes. And I think that's not the way we should be doing it. We should actually be doing the opposite. Money is energy. You see, in this world that is governed by the dollar, the more money you have, the more free time and energy you can expend in other areas that you can then utilize for what you're really passionate for, what your real great work is set forth for. So part of being a Gnostic warrior today is finding out how you could basically support yourself and your family financially without selling your soul. And you got to basically identify areas where you live that you can make that money to do that. Good morning. Without selling your soul to make a mighty dollar. And that's really hard in this world where the devil and archons reign. And this world is a test, folks, and most people don't understand that. It's a giant labyrinth where we're here to find our soul and our great work. And it's a great time for us Gnostics. Probably one of the best times in the history of the world. It is our time. It is our time to bring the knowledge and the gnosis to mankind, and how to live and how to be. The time is to bring the Gnosis to the world, and that's what I'm doing with these podcasts and these little selfie videos here on Gnostic Warrior. So, again, don't be idle. Don't be sitting around. Keep active. One of the things I do every day is I exercise, I work out 7 days a week because a lot of my work is sitting. One of the jobs I have now to make the finances is actually with a water damage and restoration company where I drive hundreds of miles a day. I'm sitting. It's not the most ideal jobs, but it's paying me really well right now, and it's going to get me to where I want to go. And I have the ability with this company to make around $100,000 or more a year. And what I'm finding out, you know, in Southern California and many parts of the country in the United States, if you want to live good and you don't want to worry about money all the time, and you don't want to worry about healthcare and different issues, 100 grand is the magic number. Okay? So I have a statement here. Cool. Nathan, I used the Bible to get a $1,000 a month SDI check for being schizophrenic. I've been free since 2003 because of this decision, and I wrote a book on what I learned. So there's people out there like Nathan, thank you for that testimonial, that are able to, let's say, work the archons or work the system to their advantage and per their path to do what they want. And that works for Nathan. For some other people, it might not work. For example, for me, I have a total of 6 children. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. We humans are here to carry on our seed. Contrary to popular population control beliefs, we're here to perpetuate our seed. We're here to find our soulmate, the mother of our children or the father of our children, the ideal mate to become in union with, the holy matrimony. And me having all these kids and wanting to do certain things and have certain goals, I basically came to the conclusion that I need to make money to do that. And to do that, I would either have to own my own business or I would have to work for a company that I could basically work up and make that kind of money that I needed to survive. So, you know, part of this process of not being idle, of course, physical activity, and then also financial. I think financial is huge. And the more or less idle we are in this category of financial activity, the more energy that we could have to pursue our Gnostic pursuits, our path, whatever our passion is. It's a vehicle. It's a solution to a problem. And I'm not selling my soul in order to make that mighty dollar. I'm giving Caesar what is Caesar's, and I'm giving unto God what is God's. And that's why I'm here. I'm a son of God. I'm here to shine his light on the world. And people will go, you know, what God is he talking about? I'm talking about Jupiter. I'm talking about the Father of the heavens. Without allegory, without mythology, and without Gnostic mythologies and stuff like that. Jupiter is where we get the light within. It's the morning star, the Star of Bethlehem. It's where we come from in our consciousness and the light that's within us. It is the planet that the house of Israel, the united house of Israel, of the Egyptians and the Hittites, had decided that Jehovah, Yahweh of the Jews, Zeus of the Greeks, Jupiter of the Romans, would be the God of all gods, the one God, the all-seeing eye of the Freemasons. That is our God. It's the God of light. It's the God of truth. It's where we get our consciousness. It is the Alpha and the Omega. All right, guys? And that's who I'm here to serve. Being a Gnostic, and here to lift the veil, the revealing, the revelations. That's what it's all about. And I've told you guys before that the Catholic Church, who was one of the biggest enemies of the other Gnostic groups, they were Gnostics themselves. Their mission was to spread this gnosis around the world, along with their brethren, the Freemasons, and their other brethren, the Rosicrucians. All right, so this is the God, the light that we talk about. This is the spirit within. This is where the Lucifer within us, the phosphorus, the light within our DNA, helps us create, helps us be who we are. So control that light. Don't let it be idle and be dark. Release it into the world. Let it be the guiding light of your great work, guys. If you guys have any questions about this light that I'm talking about, let me know. It's what you see when you see truth and light and love. When you see good in the world, it is the work of light. It is this light that we have within all of us and that permeates all things. It's in the rock, it's in these trees. It's what connects us to everything. It's phosphorus. It's what the Latins in the New Testament had called the fallen angel Lucifer. And it is our job to take this light and to rise like Christ, to use our consciousness to change this world, to create life, to create truth, to create love. And you can't do that by being idle, guys. And I want to challenge you. I created the Gnostic Warrior, GnosticWarrior.com. About 7,000 to 8,000 people come to that website every single day. 7,000 to 8,000 times 30 a month. About 250,000 people come to my website every month and they read the light and they read the truth. So I'm not being idle. I created another website called loansafe.org where I help people through foreclosure, having mortgage problems, save their homes, save their lives. People write to me still to this day. Mo, you helped save my life. You helped save my family. You helped save my home. Mo, you helped me find my soul, the truth, the light. You see, I'm doing. And I'm not doing to rub this in people's faces or look at me, I'm Idlebath. I am God above all other gods. No. I give the glory to the light of the truth. And I'm just a representative of the Father in the heavens on earth. And when you guys start to get that you are all sons and daughters of God, and you have this tremendous duty to bring this light to the world, you guys got to understand that. And we can't be idle. We can't be sitting here on Facebook and doing that. So go find your passion. Go find your great work. What are you going to do to help change some of the wrongs in the world? What are you going to do to help bring light to where there is darkness? Find that category where you can insert your soul into, where you have the most passion, the most heart, and get to work, folks. Get the job done. All right? That's why we're here. That's where passion comes from. It doesn't come from fulfilling our lower natures, sex, drugs, money, this and that. It comes from fulfilling our higher natures by creating light, truth, and love. The world that we want to see, we need to be. That's what it's all about being a Gnostic warrior, about being a true Christian or a true Muslim. What are you going to be? Are you going to be fake? Or are you going to be real? Are you going to bring the light to the people? Or are you going to bring darkness by being idle and doing nothing with your life? You know, so that's the question I leave you with today. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to help change this world? What are you going to do to stop being idle? And to start moving and start creating and stop being a pawn to the black magicians? All right, guys? So start today. Find out what it is. So here's a couple questions I'll see if I can answer here. Okay, Gary says, how do I work with my light and dark sides? The duality is confusing. I try to be optimistic, but my energy is stuck. Okay, so this is something that I've battled with myself, and a lot of other people have battled out there. And there seems to be this, almost this talk, this thing that we have within us, like there's almost two beings. There's one on one shoulder, you know, you've seen it, the devil on the left side and the angel on the right side. You've seen, you know, artwork like that. Even Homer Simpson has a scene where that is played out. And I think we all have that within us. We have the dark and the light side. And what I believe the ancients had depicted this was with the serpent. The serpent is the dragon, the king of the world, okay? And this serpent, I believe, I haven't identified exactly what it is in science, but it is a parasite that is part of our genome. And it's that great old dragon. Do you know that we're only 1% human, and 99% of our DNA in our bodies are made of microbes in our gut, in our bodies, bacteria and fungi and parasites? I have this belief that this dark side is controlled by that great dragon, by the king of the lower world, of the darkness, and from who we descend. We're both dark and light. And this light, this battle between the light and the darkness of material matter is something that we need to control and become a master of ourselves. We need to put our foot, look at my foot, right there, on the serpent's head. Okay, when you see those pictures of Saint Michael, of Jesus, and he has their foot on the dragon, or they have the sword through the dragon, what they're doing is they're slaying the darkness, they're slaying the dragon, they're slaying that prince of the world, and they're rising to the light, to the Christ consciousness. They are rising above the flesh, the battles of principalities, and their being of love, being of truth, being of light. So you got to battle these voices in your head, this prince of darkness, this great dragon, which I believe is that voice of darkness in our head that wants us to do bad, wants us to be idle, causes us to hate, fear, jealousy, etc. This comes from the serpent, and this serpent is part of our genome, and we must conquer it. And by doing that, we conquer ourselves, our material selves, and then we rise like Christ to the light. And we do this by operating in the light. We do this by curbing our passions, by habit, by not being idle, by, you know, when you wake up in the morning and your mind says, oh, don't work out today, just sit and go on YouTube or go on Facebook. You need to battle that voice and say, no, I will not. So I'm going to talk more about this devil, this idolboth, this spirit of negation that is within all of us in a future video. So it all starts with that internal conversation that we have within ourselves in battling the darkness, these thoughts. Any thoughts that come to your head about darkness, hate, fear, idleness, etc., those are darkness. Those are thoughts of darkness. And when we have thoughts of love, thoughts of truth, we're not idle. We're thinking good thoughts. Those are thoughts of light, of the spirit of the light. Those are the spirits of God. Those are what we're to cling to. So the more we have the habit of thinking good thoughts, truth, love, and we practice that, praktikosos, I say this all the time, that is when we start changing ourselves and we start morphing and we're able to control those dark thoughts. And you're welcome, Gary. Thank you for the question, brother. And again, I'll talk more about this. So fight those thoughts of darkness with thoughts of love. When you have a thought about being idle, of fear, go, no, I'm not going to think like that. I'm going to be in love. I'm going to be in truth. I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to do good. I'm going to be the best that I could be. These are what they call in psychology affirmations. And these affirmations are thousands of years old. They've been, practiced by the Gnostics before the Christian era, and they say them in Christianity. Those would be prayers. So affirmations today were essentially prayers yesterday. And you could have your own affirmations, your own prayers to battle some of this darkness. So, okay, Rachel, so how can I do these things with all the other hundreds of things I have to worry about? I could relate with you there, sister. I could relate with you there. We have so many things coming at us. And what we need to do is we need to simplify our lives. We need to make it to where there isn't hundreds of things coming at us. We need to make it to where it's simple, where we control the circumpunct. We control the soul. We control what comes into the eye, because that's our soul. So to do that, Rachel, you have to control what you're taking in to yourself, okay? You have, of course, maybe family, you have kids, you got a job, you have maybe sports, you have other things to do, you have your own life, you want to go to the gym, you got to get groceries, you got to take care of yourself, you got to take the car to here. You got to balance everything somehow. You got to categorize it, and you got to control what comes into your eyes, your mind, by maybe not watching so much or looking at so much Facebook and internet stuff, and writing a list of everything that you need to do and categorizing it every single day, and making sure, Rachel, that you make time for the important things in life in regards to your soul and to your body, etc. So it's really hard in this world, but I find scheduling and categorizing your life and trying to dedicate a little bit of time to each foundation, whether it's financial, physical, spiritual, family, etc., that you take a little time each day and you dedicate a little time to each part, and you don't neglect it. That's when we become imbalanced. When we start neglecting certain things here to take care of certain things there, that's when we start becoming imbalanced. All right? So in order to become balanced, we need to create schedules, and we need to categorize it by the different things that make up the science of being human. You know, and I've mentioned financial, I've mentioned spiritual, I've mentioned physical, family, love would fall under that category. So you got to dedicate a little time, if you can, every day or every other day to those different categories, or you're going to become imbalanced. And then also take a look at your schedule and everything that's coming at you, and take a look at, do I really need this in my life? Do I really need these 100 things coming at me? Or can I break it down to maybe 20 things coming at me daily? You know, and maybe these things that are coming at me are the result of my bad habits and my bad thinking, going on the internet, checking, you know, emails before you take control of your schedule. You're getting other people's thoughts in your head. So the idea is to control your head by controlling your thoughts. And the first thing you need to do in the morning is write a schedule, categorize it, and dedicate time to all the core areas of being human, of being a Gnostic warrior. So I have some more questions here. Hey, you're welcome, Gary. We all got to try harder, brother. This isn't easy. I know I talk about it. I'm still battling every day. I feel this is a battle that we never stop until we leave this earth. And right now, there's no Jesus walking upon this earth that I know of, or Buddha. So we're all in the same boat, brother. And Joshua, do we know of anyone in history that has truly transcended the flesh? We have examples. Jesus, Buddha, in more recent times, Gandhi. So I would say the most recent actual physical person that we can identify by his actions, not by stories, would be Gandhi. So Gandhi, if you read the story of Gandhi, someone who transcended the flesh, who fought against the archons, who lived a saint's life in India, and he was battling the British, the colonization of the British over his people, over his race, over his tribe. And he knew what was going on, and he was one that was battling the archons at that time. So study the life of Gandhi. Manly P. Hall talks about this, that one of the main characteristics of all the messiahs that have gone before as you would say, of people who have transcended the flesh, they all pretty much gave up everything of the flesh, and this included their families, kids, parents, brothers, sisters, and they took off down the path of the light to teach it to everybody around the world. So this is one of the things that we're supposed to do as followers of the light, sons of God. I don't believe in our time that we need to do that. I believe it's the actual opposite, Joshua. I believe that we need to merge the two. We need to merge, the flesh with the spirit and become one. We don't need to transcend one or the other. We need to basically connect the two together and be who we are, and we're humans. And these bodies that we have are not to be trashed or looked on as, life as this is hell. This should be heaven on earth. This should be the place that we all love to be incarnated into. It shouldn't be hell. And that's kind of the role of Gnosticism and Gnosis. And it's actually the role of religion. And people don't understand that. Is that is their great mission, is to bring the light to all of mankind. And you're going to see this in the coming years. As I had mentioned before, religions are essentially race religions. If we go back to Israel, that is the race religion of the Egyptians united with the Hittites, becoming the Phoenicians and the Greeks, who we call Jews today. So the old Jewish religion is the Old Testament, the old law, and that was broken upon the cross by the Romans, the Latins, who started the new law, the New Testament, under Jesus, the Messiah. Augustus Caesar, the first pope, who became the son of God, Julius Caesar, and he started the 6th age. And Russia, Vladimir, the world leader, Putin, is the successor to Rome. They are the masters of Jerusalem. If you look at Putin, what world leader do you see now who's being held up in such esteem, who's holding himself with dignity, with manners, with truth? There's no one in the world right now but Putin. And we're going to see some great things come out of this Russia-America deal. Some of you guys are getting caught up in the propaganda, but don't get caught up in that bullshit. All right? Putin may very well be Solomon, and Trump may very well be Hiram. I know this sounds funny, but you guys will see this in the coming years. In any event, guys, don't be idle. Do. Walk your path with love, truth, your mind, the Holy Trinity, all in one. Do something with your life. Find out what it is you're supposed to do, and do it. Stop sitting on the sidelines. Help us, the brothers and sisters of the light that are out there, that you watch in these videos, our websites, our podcasts, etc. You're part of this team, guys. You're part of this brotherhood and this sisterhood. So please, I urge you, stop being idle. If you need help with anything on the internet, creating something, a website, I've done it all for the past 15 years. I know how to do that. I could help you, give you ideas. I could help you on your path. So shoot me an email or a question on this thread. Stop being idle. Let's create light and truth and love in this world. Let's make it a more beautiful place. Let's create a heaven on earth for our children and our grandchildren. Peace to you guys out there. Mo, the Gnostic warrior, founder of the Order of the Gnostics. Take care. Much love, much truth. Don't be idle. Get things done. Peace.